What's up, guys? Welcome back to a new series where we do comparisons for guns within the same era or like gun type, and I will tell you which one is best. Obviously, this is solely on opinion, and I'm going to tell you the pros and cons of each and every gun. Let's get right into it. So today we're going to be doing the AK series. The AK series consists of the AK. What is this one called again? The AK-74M, or modified, the AKS-74U, the normal AK-74, and of course the AKM, or as some other people call it, the AK-47. So let's go through the pros and cons in each one of them, and then I'll tell you what you should get. Let's get right into it. Starting off with, of course, the AK-47. So this one is a bit on the heavier side, including a magazine, fully loaded, well, almost fully loaded, being 3.845 kilograms. And then, as we look at the stats here, it has good damage, good accuracy, recoil is okay, fire rate's the same, reliability is great. That's going to be something with all these guns. So with this one, one of the pros is its damage. So it's going to be hard to tell that. It's also very accurate too. Then again, accuracy, I feel like, is like kind of solely dependent on your own self. And then another good thing is full auto. But a problem is it's really hard to control it, as you can tell from that. So the AK, I think it's probably going to be one of the better damage, but recoil is going to be abysmal. So if you're going to run this gun, unless if you're going to put upgrades, remember these are all base versions, we're not getting into attachments because that's a completely different story, and upgrades. But so this gun is good if you're running semi-auto specifically. If you're not running semi-auto, then it might be a little bit tough unless you put on a recoil minus 20 attachment or upgrade. So yeah, that is the AK. And so yeah, next we're moving on to the AK-74. So the AK-74 is a smaller caliber using 5.45 by 39 rather than 7.62 by 39, and with a magazine loaded into it, it makes it a whopping 3.604 compared to the AK, which is actually lighter. But then again, the magazine isn't loaded, so I think this is going to be lighter overall. As we look at the stats, if we compare the stats. So I know it says lower recoil, like worse recoil, but they kind of reverse it. Rather than like talking about recoil control, they just say recoil, as in like how much recoil it has. So yeah, reliability, it's about the same. This one has slightly better. Fire rate's about the same. Accuracy, this one has better accuracy, and then damage, if they have around the same damage, this one probably has a little bit more though. So this one would actually be better in full auto because of its controllability. That's not the accuracy out of the gun, it's just my own skill. So look, and it's a lot more controllable, as you can clearly see. And another thing is you're able to spend an extra $100 to get a lighter magazine. So a fully loaded modified magazine, which is black, is 5.09. And this one is 5.34, so it's a small difference for $100. But really, do you just want to do you want to spend an extra $100 to get a skin or no? So yeah, that's pretty much it. So, and it's the same thing. It's just, yeah. So, and then obviously semi-auto. You've seen that with this gun. It's the same for every single other gun. So yeah, that is the AK-74. Just essentially like a more controllable, better version. Well, not really better because it's kind of opinion based, but just another version of the AKM. It's just more controllable, and yeah. Let's move on to the AKS-74U. So the AKS-74U is quite literally just the AK-74, but it has a cool folding stock. And then it uses the same. All of these guys are the same caliber at 4.45 by 39. So this one is practically just a lighter version, and this is actually the lightest of the bunch. So yeah, and like the other AKs, it's a little bit more controllable than the AK. AKM. Although I have a feeling it's gonna be around the same controllability as the AKM because of its shorter form factor. So yeah, it's pretty much just a lighter version of the AK-74. With this gun, because of its recoil, I recommend using it in semi-auto. And like almost all the other AKs, the accuracy is superb. Now, last up, we got the AK-74 Modified. So the AK-74 Modified is what I actually personally use in this game. So it's one of my favorites. So it is so it's lighter. It's at 3.409, whereas this one was like 609, I think. And I also have the black magazine with it, which makes it lighter overall. So yeah. And this one is just a more controllable version, so I'm going to use it in full auto, just to show you how controllable it is. Let me just do this. See, like, it's really, really controllable. I don't use full auto because I think full auto is kind of dumb, especially when semi-auto's in, you just go. If you can tap fast enough, so yeah. So this one is more controllable because of this little muzzle brake thing, and then it's also lighter. And the stats are still about the same. They have the same all of these guys have like the same attachment mounts. They'll have a dovetail, a GP34 mount, and the AKS series barrel mount, which is like a suppressor. This one does not have a grenade launcher mount though, but that's fine. So yeah. Now, which one would you want? Okay, so, in order to determine which one you want, very simply, what are you looking for? If you just want something to be light and compact, and you don't really care about anything else, because you're just going to upgrade it using, well, upgrades, then I recommend the AKS-74U. Because it's light, it's the lightest of the bunch, and it's small. Like, you can literally see it. So if you're looking for something for a more light and compact, I go with that. But I recommend using this thing in semi-auto unless you do recoil upgrades, obviously. Because these are all unmodified. Because when you modify things, it's a completely different story, and it's really just how you modify them, which changes, like, the way they are. So, but if you're looking for something that is light and really controllable, I recommend going for this. Because it is not as light as this, that's for sure. But it's light enough where it could not be a hassle when it comes to weight, and it's also very, very controllable when you're using full auto. And when you put a recoil upgrade on this, it makes it even better. So if you're looking for something that is decently light and has really good controllability, I recommend this. And this is good for both firing modes. If you're looking for something that just has good recoil, the AK-74, because it's suitable in full auto because of its smaller caliber, leading for less recoil. And but if you're just looking for something that you're going to use in semi-auto and you just want some very simply good damage, I recommend running this because I think it has probably about this best damage of the bunch, and also it's like the cheapest of the bunch. Cause this one is 4,000, this one is 6,500, this is 5,000, and this is 4,500. So it's not the cheapest, but I think it's definitely the best bang for your buck when you're trying to just trying to get something, So if you're trying to get the best bang for your buck are definitely these two, but if you have good money to spend, then I recommend one of these two. So yeah, essentially, it really just depends on what you're looking for. But my personal favorite is this one. I recommend this one the most. Now, obviously, it is definitely the most pricey, so you're going to need a lot of money if you want to get a good amount of magazines and a good amount of ammo. So this one is definitely the best one as for full auto and semi-auto. But the best bang for your buck is definitely one of these two. But if you have a decent amount of money to spend and you just want something good, then this. But the best one is for sure the AK-74 modified, because it has better stats than all of them while being lighter and having just a better recoil control and all that stuff. So the best out of the AK series is probably going to be the AK-74 modified. And also, it just looks sick, especially when you have a black magazine. Like, how cool does that look? That's gross. That's cool. So yeah, by far the best is probably going to be this. Now, like I said, with upgrades, it's a completely different story. But unmodified, unupgraded, this is the best. And when you upgrade it, it becomes even better. So yeah, I'm going to say this one more time. The best one is the AK-74 modified. Have a good day, everyone.